Please remain standing for the National Anthem, sung by Stephen Sr., Ariana Neal. Thank you, Ariana. You may be seated. Good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon. I am Dr. Diane Lynch, and I am the president of Stevens College. On behalf of our faculty and staff and our administration, it's my enormous pleasure to welcome you to the commencement ceremonies for the spring 2021 graduates, the Master of Fine Arts in Television and Screenwriting. That's your applause line. I want to start out by thanking you so much for being here. Several speakers, including Hunter Thompson and Woody Allen, and I'll stick with Hunter Thompson, have observed that 80% of life is showing up. Today, after such a long year of Zooming through our lives, I've started to really think that showing up feels like more like 99% of what matters. And here you are, and here you are. And I know that there are many others who couldn't be with you and us today, but are here on Zoom and technology and streaming, and so they too are showing up. We are so proud and so excited about this special and memorable gathering, and we're so proud that you're about to become Stevens graduates. Now that we have you here, we're going to do our darndest to keep you happy and healthy. I want to thank you in advance for your patience, perseverance in following the protocols that will let us do that. As I hope you're already aware, we're health screening as people come into the space. So if that's news to you, you might want to you can stay, but don't leave, you can stay. But others, you may want to step out, and one of our amazing staff will help you with that. We are socially distancing, as you can tell, which means I will not be shaking your hands as you cross the stage. That doesn't mean that I am in any way less enthusiastic or proud of your accomplishment. It's just protocol, as you know. We're all wearing masks except when we're speaking at the podium, and we're socially distanced. And I'm fully vaccinated. Yay, yay. If you feel you cannot wear a mask during the ceremony, I ask that you observe these proceedings from another location that we have set aside or that we structured on campus. One of our employees is at the back of the room and we'd be happy to guide you there. These are the protocols that are going to allow us to be together separately and safely. And I want to thank you for your patience and your support. Now back to our program. I want to thank those who have made this event possible, our accomplished and dedicated faculty, including Dr. Monica McMurray of the Fashion Program and faculty chair. Oops, there you are, Monica, who is serving as our head marshal, and Assistant Professor Mike Burke from our Performing Arts Program, who is a fellow alum of the MFA program at Stevens College. Thank you, Roseanne. Right, she's always your greatest cheerleader, right? Yay. And who has mentored and supported the extraordinary tech students who are making our AV work today, who were up there going, the microphone, turn the microphone on. I'd like to thank our remarkable and committed staff, including the commencement committee, and in particular, Lita Pistono, who is the executive assistant in the president's office, and she's the woman in charge of the planning and logistics for these uniquely complicated and special proceedings. We will have 4 commencement ceremonies, starting with this one through tomorrow afternoon. Every one of them incredibly important, very special, and sort of complicated. And so, again, special thanks to Lita. Please join me in acknowledging these remarkable members of our community. And now, please join me in welcoming Dr. Leslie Willey, Vice President for Academic Affairs, to the podium.
It is fitting that we honor our distinguished faculty today. The Stevens College faculty has an immense impact on the lives of students, as professors, as mentors, as advisors, and as friends. Each of our faculty has made significant contributions to the college, to their profession, and to the thousands of students they have taught over the years. Would the faculty please stand and be recognized? One faculty member who embodies the dedication and character of the Stevens College faculty was selected this past spring by students to receive the 2021 Distinguished Teaching Award. I would like to especially recognize Sarah Lindy Patel. Sarah is an instructor and program chair of equestrian studies. Please join me in congratulating her. Sarah. Another faculty member was recognized by the students for outstanding advising skills. The recipient of the 2021 Michael Bowling Distinguished Advising Award is Dr. Kate Berneking-Kogut. Kate is Associate Professor and Program Chair of English Creative Writing. Please join me in congratulating Kate. Finally, I would like to recognize the contributions of our academic leadership team, Dr. Julia Moffett, Dean of the School of Health Sciences, and Dr. Trish Parsons, Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs. These academic leaders provide vision, direction, and support to the faculty and students at Stevens College. Julia and Trish, please stand to be recognized. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Roseanne Welch, Executive Director of the MFA in Television and Screenwriting program. Roseanne?
Woo! Hello, you're here. I'm so excited. All right, so what am I going to say to you? I'm going to say the stuff that I've said all the time over and over again. Words matter. Writing matters. Representation matters. These things matter to us, and they matter to all the people who will hear the stories that you will tell. And to me, that is one of the most special things that we're all taking away from today and from the 2 years that we spent together. If you've learned nothing else over these last 2 years, I know you've learned that, and I know we've learned that together. I hope that you also learned that your stories, individually, matter. These are things that need to be in the world, and we hope that you've been given the beginning of the skills to make that happen in whichever venue you choose, and whichever venue is where you blossom. That's my dream for everybody. So today, I'm really excited and proud to welcome you into this commencement tradition that is about people becoming masters of something. And this has been going on since the 12th century in Italy and in Africa, where there were universities long before we even think about that, right? And people wanted to become skilled at something, and they came together with other people who cared about those things. And that's what you guys all did, even though we did it in California, not exactly here, and sometimes in your own home and all those things. You became this group of people who worked together. And I just think that's so beautiful that that's like the best thing I can say, except that I also want to acknowledge the folks who couldn't be with us today. And I know they're listening to us on the live stream. So I'm very briefly going to say, we all are going to remember for a long time, Caitlin and Kyle and Sam and Nick and Marco and Brandy and Lori and Juan and Shannon, who we know couldn't be here today. So in their honor, yay for all of them and yay for all of you. Thank you. I love you guys all.
Thank you, Roseanne. Our graduate representative this evening, receiving a Master of Fine Arts in Television and Screenwriting degree, is Doreen Hamilton, filling in for Shannon Dobson. As a New York stand-up and improvisational sketch performer, Doreen fell in love with creating characters that embraced both her Jamaican roots and New York upbringing. After making the move to Hollywood, she forged ahead in the world of improv and joined many local groups. She joined the Organization of Black Screenwriters and served with them for 7 years, transforming the organization from a small support group to a virtual, proactive, professional organization dedicated to advancing the careers of African American writers in Hollywood. She initiated the OBS Griot Storyteller Award, which exclusively honored writers of African descent for their works in television and film. Doreen fell into the world of scripted reality when she took what she thought was a one-week job at Dick Clark Productions. But after 3 years of learning the ropes of development, award shows, and game shows, she went on to write and create shows and pilot presentations for MGM, TeleTV, King World, and Buena Vista Productions. She also worked on the writing staff for National Enquirer TV. Doreen became executive director of the Guy Hanks and Marvin Miller Screenwriting Program, of which she is an alumna. This prestigious fellowship gave her the opportunity to discover television and feature writers of color, including Lena Waithe, Kemp Powers, and Peter Saji. Her 14 years of aiding writers' advancement in the entertainment industry has been honored by the state governor, Senate, and mayor's office. Doreen authored the humorous self-help book, Spiritually Speaking, Get Over It. She seeks to tell non-traditional stories in unconventional ways through TV and film, while exposing the humor of it all. Her motto, received from her mother, is learn as much as you can, as fast as you can. Give as much as you can, as fast as you can. Doreen, it's my honor to welcome you to the stage.
Glad I brought my glasses. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Everyone knows who I am after all these years, which you've never known quite before. I stand here as a member of the soon-to-be legendary alumni of Stevens College, Masters of Fine Arts in Television and Feature Writing class of 2021. Yes, we did it! And I say to my fellow cohorts, whether you are with me live or you are streaming, you are here with us and you are indeed a part of this journey. I do want to thank you, President Lynch, Dr. Wiley, I know, especially Dr. Roseanne Welch, who is the executive director, but also our advisor, our mistress of film history, for her guidance, her compassion, and her wisdom over the past 2 years. I want to recognize Shannon Dobson, our fabulous graduate assistant, who, if not for some strange illness, would be standing here today, which I'm here, and it's very much like writing. Shannon was the first draft, I'm the rewrite. Make her black, make her pretty. So, and that's very much the state of the industry that we're in right now. We are rewriting the future. The stories that we bring from our diverse backgrounds as writers, as actors, as playwrights, as filmmakers, as journalists, novelists, pilots, therapists, and more. Whether you're straight, LGBTQ, or somewhere in the middle, whether you're young or more seasoned with life experiences, our stories matter. Our stories come in the form of spec scripts, original pilots, features, podcasts, and web stories. They're diverse, and inclusion is indeed the phrase of the day. Our goal is to represent everyone and to make sure that you're seeing yourself or someone other than yourself when you look at the screen. Our stories matter. Whether we're telling a story of our history, like Sam Wood's period piece, The King of Spades, where in order to find her father's killer, Stephanie King must join the family's business of running the biggest racketeering organization in Harlem, New York. Or our version of the future, like in Noemi Dean's script, The Seer, where in the not-so-distant future, long after they dismissed the patriarchy of a female warrior helps lead a fraction of powerful women in a new society where traditional gender roles no longer exist, while fighting against the rising forces trying to change their way of life. To our comedies, our dramedies, our dramas, our slice of life, our horror and our fantasies. These stories and countless others were created and developed in this program and have laid the foundation for countless more stories to come. As writers, our job is not just to create stories about cool stuff. We are here to write things that start discussions, shift consciousness, and ultimately bring about change. As writers, we are rewriting the future, rewriting it for our communities, for our country, and for our world. One story at a time. Our stories do matter. Through our stories, we are here to remind people to think before you act, to laugh as much as possible, to love deeply, often, and freely, and to remember above all that we are all in this together. I wish you, my fellow cohorts, unconditional success. I wish you the freedom to write from your heart with passion. May you see the lesson, the blessing, and the story in your darkest days, and may you rise above it with ease, grace, and glory. And above all, may you look back on this experience as an experience with joy, with growth, and with inspiration. I thank you for being a part of my life. God bless you.
Thank you, Doreen. Congratulations. Now for the important part. As Vice President for Academic Affairs, it is my pleasure to present today's candidates for degrees. Will the candidates for Master of Fine Arts in Television and Screenwriting please stand and be recognized? Assistant Professor Brett Olson will announce each candidate who crosses the stage to receive a diploma. Graduates with blue and white cords signify membership in the Pinnacle Honor Society, the honor society for non-traditional students. Before Assistant Professor Olson begins, I ask that all of your candidates, that we recognize the candidates one more time. And now it's time for President Lynch to confer your individual degrees. President Lynch, on behalf of the faculty, I present these candidates for conferring of degrees.
Lovely speech, lovely. So this is your moment, and I'm a believer in ritual. And I believe rituals change us, which is why you're here. You've traveled to be together and with all of your friends and cohorts who are streaming in, speaking to you as well. This is your moment. This is the last moment where you will not be a Stevens College alum. I'm proud of that. I hope you are as well. By the authority of the state of Missouri, given to the trustees of Stevens College and entrusted to me by them, I hereby award to you, upon recommendation of the faculty, the degrees that you have earned during the course of your studies at Stevens College, with all of the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining, in token whereof you shall be given diplomas. Graduates, you may now move your tassels from right to left. Congratulations. You know, I know we're not a very big crowd, but I really think we could do better than that. I really do. So can we really just give it up for these incredible, incredible writers and artists who have worked so hard during such difficult times for this moment? So please, can we congratulate the class of 2021 MFA? Better, thank you. Will you please be seated and come to the stage as your name is called?
Corey Michael Byers. Veronica Chabira. Kristen Diana Costa. Noemi Valela Dean. Morgan Kathleen Giowan. Patricia Margaret Goldbach. Doreen Hamilton. Ghislaine Morlot. Angela Lee Nichols. Retha Jeanette Oliver. Jenna Avriel Rice. Mary Caroline Robbins. Dawn Noel Saucier Green. Tara Lynn Watts.
Okay, everybody, one more time. Let's give it up for the class of 2021. So this is the draft and this is the rewrite. So this is the moment in every commencement ceremony when the president has the opportunity and the privilege of presenting the graduates with a challenge, which typically has something to do with you being the change you want to see in the world, which I want you to do that. I've done this every year. This is my 12th year at Stevens, so almost 50 times. Somebody went, whoa. Actually, it's really fun. It's good. It's all good. But today's charge to you, our graduates of 2021, I think is very different from really any of those that have come before. Today, as you know, we're pausing to celebrate, and I hope exhale together at the close of an academic year that really has been unlike any other. Today, we stand in deep gratitude for all of those who have sacrificed so much and with such courage to protect and serve our communities, both within and beyond our healthcare centers. We reflect in honor and memory of all those whose lives have been lost. We mourn their passing and we celebrate their legacies. We also know that our world is slowly vaccinating itself back to some semblance of pre-COVID normal. Here in Columbia, for example, health restrictions requiring masks and social distancing expire next Friday. That may be stunning to those of you in other parts of the country, but there's absolutely no question that in many, many parts of the country, things are going back to normal. As we return to a world in which strangers actually shake hands, I met somebody the other day and they went like this to me and I was like, don't know what to do with that. Like, what is that? Right? And you think, oh, right, we touch each other when we need. And we can actually see each other smile. As we begin to consider a time in which we may actually reopen and reconnect and reimagine, I urge you to hold tight to what we call here the silver linings of a year that has been so full of sorrow and loss. The freedom of an unscheduled day. You know, isn't that so great? You like wake up and you think, oh, time. The calm of a morning walk. I had in here an afternoon nap without guilt. And then I crossed it out. It's like, I'm not there yet. But the connective tissue, the time, lots of it, with our loved ones, creates. And the clarity of meaning that emerges when the world slows down. That, our graduates, is my charge to you today. I challenge you to hold on to that quiet space within you, to continue to seek out that clarity of thought and purpose. And as writers and storytellers in particular, to keep listening to the voices and lived experiences of those who are not you, to hear the painful narratives of racial and social injustice that have this year captured our cultural and collective attention and engendered our outrage. And I wonder sometimes whether it's because there has been emotional, intellectual space for us to actually listen. I challenge you to protect that space and to keep hearing those stories, even as your world begins to rush past you in post-COVID hyperdrive. And finally, Stevens alumna, I implore you, you who have the talent, the energy, the education, and the opportunity to do anything you dream of doing. You have just become among the 9% of people in this country who hold graduate degrees. 9%. That means you are among the smartest, most educated, most creative, most privileged human beings on the planet. And yes, it's true. With privilege comes responsibility. And your responsibility is to do everything you can to be the leaders your education has prepared you to become. Yes, here I go, be the change in the world you want to see. I had to come back to it, you know I'm going to. To live your lives in the service of greater good and to model for those around you in every story you tell and in every conversation you have. Our promise to our children and to their children that we are a civil society, a community rich in compassion and generous in spirit, and that truly is one nation under whatever God each of us happens to honor, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I am so proud to welcome you to the Stevens family, some of you more than once. You got 2 degrees from Stevens. And we are very, very proud to congratulate you today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being Stevens. And again, congratulations. In conclusion, Ariana Neal will lead us in singing the Stevens hymn. And here's one of the things. It's a rule at our commencements that you have to sing the Stevens hymn. I won't be able to tell because you're wearing masks, so I won't be able to see if your mouth is moving. But it is one of those requirements of new alum that you sing our Stevens hymn. It's in the back of the program. It's on the, I think, is it on the back of the program? Back inside. And it's really okay if you, no, it's not okay if you never sing it again, but you can't leave if you don't sing it now. No, I'm just kidding. Please join us in singing the Stevens hymn. Do you stand or sit? What would you like to do? You don't care? Stand up. Thank you. Thank you for asking.